Hey, it's your boy Coach Mule. I'm official like a referee with a whistle. I'm coaching you on the rules of your game, and I'm showing you how to win at it. Today we got a very special story time, and I'm gonna be telling you guys a story time about the first moment I knew I was gonna be great. And look, I know Young Thug said, I always knew I wasn't gonna be gay. I was sending pictures to my grandma's phone when I was like 8. And that's a very important moment for him because honestly, if we look back into our childhood, we can start to see the moments where we knew greatness was for me and where greatness is also going to be for you. But throughout your childhood, there's also going to be moments now where you realize that your greatness and your ability to be great. Honestly, I don't even really want to tell it. I don't want to sell this story to you. I kind of just want to tell you, I may get into a mode of selling without being able to truly give you guys value through just the words, right? And allow you to make your own connections. And that's what I'll do today. I'm going to give you guys a story time while I watch this Fortnite gameplay. And it's going to be about being great and what that means to me and how you can do it for yourself. But this one example comes from a time when I was playing PeeWee football, right? And I remember when I was younger, I was really an athletic kid. At first, when I was growing up, I was a little bit overweight, right? And I was a fat kid. I didn't really put too much emphasis on the things that I was doing or what I was going to accomplish because I was just eating good. No, when you're a kid, you don't really think about, what the effect will have. You're not worried about girls. You're not worried about anything else but eating a little good meal, getting used to McDonald's, watching your little videos, playing with your friends. And for me, my thing started to become sports. But there was a period in my life where at first I was a little bit chubby, and then I started playing sports in my youth, like playing youth football, playing youth basketball, and I kind of slimmed down. But then around the time of like freshman year, 8th grade, then I was like, you know what, let me just get a little snack or two, you feel me? And I had came back and really like got sexy on niggas for real. But I remember growing up and playing football, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm probably going to go to the NFL. Probably not. I didn't really have any big dreams to do anything with sports, but I just enjoyed playing. And the main reason why I enjoyed playing sports was because I had friends already built in. And every time I would go to practice, I would look forward to talking with my friends. And I wasn't really a outgoing kid. I just enjoyed being around other people who had more complex lives than I did, if that makes sense. So these people had lives and they had feelings and they cared about so much. And I'm just like, wow, that's so interesting. Like, you guys really care about this. And I was just there to really score touchdowns and just like eat the snacks at halftime and eat the oranges. And everyone else is like going through changes. They're probably maturing much quicker than me, which is why they had a lot more going on. But I'm just like, hey, I'm just vibing, man. They're getting into their middle school dramas and they're starting to develop the things that make us do what we do, right? Our conscious. And at this time, I probably didn't even have a conscious for real. Like, I was just like touchdown, oranges and snacks. So I'm going through football, and I remember my first year of football, I was, probably like 10, 11, and I was playing for a team. A local team is like the Mustangs, they call it. And it's any team, any Pop Warner team. It's not associated with Pop Warner, it's kind of its own league. But essentially that's what it is. And I was playing and going through the changes, and I knew I was going to be great, but I didn't stamp it yet because I was just, like I said, scoring touchdowns, being around the team, being around others. But then I got to a point where I actually started to get good, right? And this is at a lower level of things. This is like, okay, you're good, but you're playing on a local team. You're not really traveling around. You're not really, but you're a kid, you just automatically assume that you're the best ever, and whatever you do, you're just shitting on niggas. And me, I was always humble, but in my mind, I always knew that I was gonna be successful at whatever I did, just because that's how I carried it. Like, yeah, I would come and be humble and quiet and like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm just vibing and be nice and be caring towards my teammate. And this is like another thing. This could probably be like a people pleasing thing. Not really getting my needs met as a child. But we're not here to get philosophical. We're here to just tell a story time about being great and what I define as greatness. And at the time, I defined greatness as just doing my little 1-2, making it to practice, and eventually got to a point where I was like, all right, well, what now? And what does this mean? I'm doing well and everything is going good, but what now? Like, what am I supposed to do from here? I didn't really think about college, or I didn't think about high school sports just yet, because I was doing kid shit still. And I wanted to just hang out with my friends at practice. So around this time, I was moving around and I had to decide, because I moved so far away, if I was going to continue to play or if I was going to focus on school and focus on being a middle school, elementary school kid. And I had to stop playing football because my mom had moved away and we were too far to be making it to practice every couple of days, and I could only make it to a certain amount of games, and I was trying out for the travel teams now, and I was like, all right, well, I made the travel team. I must be pretty decent at football. I must be all right. But I had no choice but to stop playing football, and I started focusing on basketball. But whole time, now that I was transitioning and focusing on one sport instead of two, I realized it was going to take a whole lot more effort to be great at basketball, because my attention was so spread out. One, being a kid, two, football, and now being in a whole new setting, right? I had moved and I couldn't play football anymore, and I didn't want to play football. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of getting hit. I know a lot of football players out there, former football players at least, who didn't really love the game, who were really just like, I'm here, I'm doing well, or maybe not doing well, here for a variety of different reasons. One, I was doing well, and two, I did love the team. Your reasons may be different from mine, but I was like, I just don't really feel like getting hit, and especially going into high school, being undersized, and like I mentioned, I was a chubby kid. I'm like, you know what? I'm not finna fuck with these big ass kids, bro. I'm not. I'm about to play basketball. I'm about to be a basketball player now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a great basketball player. I don't know what it even means to be a great basketball player. I don't even know what it meant to be a great football player. I was just vibes. I get to the new school. Immediately it's around the time where now I'm maturing. I'm having all these life changes, right? I'm finding out about porn. I'm finding out about girls. I'm finding out that I'm actually like a cute ass young nigga, and these little fast girls is on my dick. So I'm like, oh yeah, like that's cool. I'm getting attention now. I don't really have to use sports as my definition of greatness. I can use girls now, and you know, I can use friends. I have all these friends, and I'm on the JV freshman team. My coach is like yelling at me because I'm fat and I don't really want to run sprints, and we're running to death because we're losing every single game. And I'm like, man, I'm not fucking with this. Like, what are we doing here? And so I'm learning all these new ways, and sports is kind of getting a back seat, taking a back seat to things. I'm like, sports is cool, but all these sprints and all this work that I'm actually gonna have to put in, that's taken away from my time with my crushes, and taken away from my time spending with my friends and going out and get pizza and just doing random stuff like climbing rocks. Like, there's a whole bunch of story times that I could tell you guys about just doing random shit in my youth. So definitely, subscribe or don't. The choice is yours. But now that I'm like, okay, I can define my greatness with other things, I might not want it to be basketball. Let me just keep going just in case. And so I'm like, all right, well, around this time, I'm not even thinking about the NBA. I was never that kid that was like, yo, I'm going to the league. Like, I swear it's me. I'm Bronny Jr. Like, I was never that kid. I was never the type to be like, yeah, like, like I said, And I'll say it again: vibes, touchdowns, a few buckets here and there, and and a cheeseburger after. I'm cool, right? So then it gets to a point where now I have to make a choice, and I'm becoming more conscious of my choices, and I'm like, all right, boom. So I'm about to move again. Okay, girls is kind of hitting right now. Like the girl shit kind of going for me. Like I'm really like I'm starting to slim down a little bit. I'm really getting to my bag. You feel me? I had no game for real, but I'm just getting to it. I'm like, I got my little crushes. I'm going to the middle school dances. I'm doing my 1-2. I'm saying, yo, DJ, play that Frank Ocean shit. Like, I'm in there kissing. I used to kiss in the mouth. Like, I still do it, but you feel me? Back then it was a little bit different because you're young. You don't really have too much expectations on you, so you could do that type of stuff. I'm at the middle school dance. I'm like, yeah, play that Frank Ocean shit, Sierra Leone. I'm telling them to play Thinking About You. I'm doing my little 1-2. And then basketball is still on the back of my mind. But I'm like, there's so many other ways. I still got this girl thing going. Now I'm actually getting kind of smart. I'm realizing I'm smart. And I'm like, yo, this could be something too. Like, I could probably go to school. But whole time, I never truly committed to any of these things. And I get to high school, same deal. I get back into football. Now I realize, and I have the consciousness, and I have the ability to make it a choice for myself in a way, or at least I thought I did. And I was like, okay, so now I choose to play sports for fun. I know now that I'm not gonna make it, and I'm gonna choose to go and do academics. So I'm like, yeah, academics is it. I'm doing the academic side of things. I'm focusing on just continuing to expand on that side of things. Like I'm doing the APs, the honors, I'm getting the 4.0s, I'm getting the Dean's List, the National Honor Society, so on and so forth. Now I'm like, okay, success is academics. I'm getting validated for doing good here, and wherever the validation was, that's where I was. And I'm busy watching this Fortnite content, so if I'm not looking y'all in the eyes, just listen to my voice, right? Listen to the sound of what I was defining as success. But boom, I'm like, yo, like success. I found it. I found the formula. Like, this is it. And I get to school because now I double down on this version of success as academics being my main focus, and academics being something that I'm gonna really like double down on, triple down on, be a dentist, and really like make success being smart and being a scholar. And then I'm like, you know what? Actually, I don't know, because now I get to college and I go to Drexel University. I'm a bio major thinking I'm about to be a dentist. And all of a sudden, shit just hit the fan, because this shit is not high school. This shit is not easy. I'm doing bio homework, chemistry homework, not understanding a damn thing. I don't know who to seek out for help. I don't know what a tutor is. I'm scared to ask for help. I'm scared to go find someone that can help me with this hard work. I'm not going to class. I'm not doing anything. So now that the version of success and the academic, you feel me, the academic thing that I had going on, all this scholarly good grades in this National Honor Society wasn't real because it wasn't happening. Now shit's starting to hit the fan, and I don't have basketball and friends to lean on and go back to another version of success. So it's like I gotta make this academic shit work. I gotta get this money by tomorrow. Like, how am I really get to my academic bag and figure out what I need to be doing to be successful here? And I couldn't figure it out. And I know a lot of you guys get to a point in your lives where you just can't figure it out. You don't know what you should be doing. It's because you're just not the person. You're just not the person yet to do it. And that's where the good from great, and where the make it or break it, like that moment where you're like, oh man, like I was there and I made it. Those are those moments. But you don't really see it until after, and you just honestly in those moments, and this is where I was just failing over and over again. But in reality, that failure and me quote unquote breaking was leading up to a win. It was getting me closer to what I truly needed. But I didn't see that at the time. I was just like, fuck it, like, bro, I don't care. I'm gonna double down on. And now this is where I don't care about success. I'm like, success, bro. I don't care. Now I'm a I don't care type of dude. I'm gonna just do what I want. I'm gonna go back to girls. Fuck it, girls was working. Let me go back to girls. Then I get into girls. I'm like, all right, yeah, whew, all right, I'm good now. Slowly but surely, that also came to a screeching halt because no girl, once you get to college, no girl wants a nigga that's not really on his grind like that. Like, you feel me? Like, I know it's cool right now. You're high school, you probably just graduated, maybe you're a freshman in college, you're kind of able to fake it. And at the time, I was never really an Amiri bull. I was never really like a dress it up bull or fake it bull or lie bull. I was more like, this is my personality. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me type of guy. But that was working because I was just cute, and I was like, yeah, I get you in the bed, and then I really like get into it, and we kiss and stuff like that. And it's like, oh yeah, like I fuck with this guy, you know what I'm saying? But right then, I kind of didn't have it. I didn't have the values. I was like a quote unquote low value man, as you guys would probably call it. And then I was like, you know what? Because I'm doing poorly now, I'm not really getting no girls because I can't even focus on it. Like, what am I doing? I can't focus on not one of these things. So my focus is all spread out, and it's affecting my ability to define success as getting girls. Now my bag's starting to get low. I'm losing the squad. I'm losing the team. And once you lose a team, it's hard to get a team back. And I know maybe there's a lot of coaches in the chat right now, but like you gotta fight for your team and fight for your goals. And I wasn't able to fight because I was stuck trying to redefine success, and I ultimately flunked out. I flunked out of Drexel. I was on academic probation. I went undecided business. Realized that this goal of being a dentist was just random, very random, not well thought out. I didn't have the time or ability or capacity to really like sit down and define success and make a plan around that version of success. So I was just like, you know what? I like teeth. Like I like, and well, like not psychopath, but I like to work with my hands. I had an experience that I'll tell you guys maybe in another video where I chipped my tooth and a dentist helped me, but it was also very painful to get it fixed. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't want people to be in pain, so I think I'll just do this. But just those reasons aren't good enough to push you towards your goal. You have to do it for something bigger. And when I realized that I was doing it from a place, and I didn't realize this until probably like a year ago, where I was doing the dentistry because I wanted to help people. And at the time, I just thought like, yo, money, work with hands, smart, lab coat, dentist, and then take it from there. But it wasn't until I had that realization that I was now able to be like, okay, well, this is why, and then use that cause to do what I'm doing now, which is give you guys the information, the resources, the connections you need to define success for yourself earlier than I did, earlier than you think you should, and figure it out that way. When it does come time, you guys aren't so stunned, or you guys aren't so thrown off by this real world, right? And so now I don't even get to there till about 2 years ago. But just to get back to, damn, he cooked. I hope he got another video. Oh, there you go. So then I'm like, yo, like, whole time I'm undecided business. I'm discovering what I want and what my new version of success was gonna be, and I ultimately fell back on what? I fell back to sports. I was like, basketball or bust. But this time I had a slighter understanding that, you know what? I know I'm not NBA. Whole time, like, it's bigger now in my brain. Before it was like in the back of my mind. Now it's like kind of on the side. But I know why I want to be around the team, because I'm like, yo, it's right here. I want teammates, I want friends, I want community. And then I get to the new school and I'm still slightly like, in between with success. But whole time, and the whole reason for the story time is I always knew I was going to be great, and I always knew I was going to figure it out. And that knowing is what has gotten me here. But not in the way that you may think, right? And not in the way that is the quote unquote version of success that you probably define yourself as right now, and the quote unquote version of greatness that you define as greatness right now. You're probably like, is this guy Tom Brady? Who is this guy? He has one viewer in the chat. Is this guy LeBron James? Is he Gary Vee? Is he this? Is he that? Those people are success. Those people are success compared to what he is doing. Is he like that? I don't really know if that's success. And maybe that's true for you, but that's not true for you. My version of greatness is doing it over and over and over again, no matter the result. No matter if I have Gary Vee numbers, no matter if I'm on stage with a Gary Vee voice and saying stuff like, kind of like, saying marketing stuff that does make sense. But, it only seems effective if there's a crowd or if you have a podcast mic, like I'm doing here. But, doing it consistently. I had to change that version of success. And when I finally got there is when I really started to know that my greatness and my goals were achievable, because now I'm like, I don't have to define success as girls or school or basketball. I could actually pick it for myself and I can actually achieve it and no one can tell me different. Nah, this is the cheat code to life. I can sit here and chat. I can sit here with my one viewer, my one chatter, and tell a story time and just watch Fortnite clips and actually be great. That's amazing, right? And the greatness doesn't just stop here. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable and I'm satisfied with just having one viewer in here and getting my points across and being right all the time and, just making great points, making great jokes and this, that, and the third. The greatness also comes in the journey of achieving it and in the journey of pursuing these goals, right? I have this cause and I'm striving for perfection to continuously prove to you and myself that this is greatness. But honestly, the pursuit of it is the best part because it may seem like, oh yeah, he has something to prove that this is, useful and this is good. But honestly, in my eyes, I see a version of success that, and when that is pointed at me, I see a version of success in myself that you don't see. And you may see a version of success or lack thereof in me that you may also not see in yourself. And this is where things start to get tricky and where we start to disagree and agree on success, because what you see in me is a reflection of what you may also see in yourself, for or against, right? And this is where it really gets tricky here, because I want to leave you guys with this point of for and against and lack and, an abundance of. You may sit here and be like, all right, well, has this guy really achieved greatness? Is he really great towards your standard? No, to my standard every single day. And that's the only standard that matters to me. Now, from this video, you have to determine what version of success is going to matter for you, right? What are you going to define your success as right after you watch this video? You could say, I want to be LeBron James. And now the real work begins, because are you doing what you need to be doing right now to be LeBron James? Probably not. And if you are, why do you want to be LeBron James? Why not be the best basketball player that you can be, but still use LeBron James as a basis based on the good values that he has that has allowed him to see success? But that's not the story time. The story time is about my own greatness and how I define greatness for myself. And once I was able to define it, now the possibilities are limited. And that's why this stream is titled No Limit Part 2, because every single day I'm going for it and there's no limit on what I can achieve because I've already achieved it. That may fly over your head. You feel me? I've already achieved greatness. So it's like, now what? I could do whatever. I could do anything. Now what? And this is where the growth starts to happen, in that now what phase. Now you have your cause, you have your why, you have your goal. Now the growth is the no limit. There's no limit to the amount of growth I can do, because I can just keep learning new material. I can come on here and practice every single night. I can practice talking, I can practice short form, I can practice this, I can practice that, and then I can also start to become more effective based off my practice. Now I know, okay, well, I post this video on YouTube. I come back to stream tomorrow. I say I still have one chat member. Okay, well, uh, that's not my version of success. That's not my version of greatness. But, you know, my goal is to grow. So, how can I start to really take this no limit thing and pair it with some marketing or pair it with some other things to truly reach my goals, right? And don't confuse goals with success and greatness, because once you do that, you will start chasing things that don't really matter, and you will start to confuse your journey with money, or confuse your journey with status, or confuse your journey with this and confuse your journey with that, right? And the last thing that I really want to leave you guys with, and the whole point of this story time, is I'm going to be great and I'm great, but what about you? Right? Like, what about you? Is it going to be girls, and for how long? Is it going to be sports, and for how long? Is it going to be academics, and for how long? You know, is it going to be being a son, or is it going to be being a daughter? For how long? Is it going to be your name is Timothy? Okay, for how long? Yeah, you may be Timothy for life, but honestly, does being Timothy help you achieve your goals? And that's where the real separation begins. The separation between goal and success happens with the identifying characteristics and how we see ourselves. Every single time and every single day that I wake up, I see greatness because the values reflect, the work reflects, and the goals and the achievement thereof reflect. Now, if you're out here bullshitting and you call yourself an entrepreneur, but your goals aren't centered around entrepreneur, you're not making progress on those goals of being an entrepreneur, are you really an entrepreneur? And why is that version of success being an entrepreneur? But that's the last thing that I'll leave you guys with. Hopefully I did not lose you there. And me saying that is a clear indication that I am talking above my target market. So let me just bring it back a little bit. Let me give you